Let's continue our politics class. We stopped our class by saying that the different policies adopted by the government for the success of federalism. Did you remember all the things? What were the things we discussed in the last class? Take your textbook, open it, page number 24. Decentralization in India. We saw that federalism is very successful in India only because the government adopted many good policies. Okay, many good policies. Language policy adopted by the government, we saw. Center-state relations and the center-state relations, everything we saw. Next is decentralization in India, page number 24. Decentralization. Listen. This is one of the most important point in the lesson, decentralization. We noted about that the federal government have 2 or more tiers of governments. Study, the federal government has 2 or more tiers. Central government should be there, state government should be there. We have so far discussed the 2 tiers of government in our country. So we discussed about central government and state government in our country. But India is a very large country, you know. Many European independent countries are not that much bigger as these states of India. Our country's one state, for example, Uttar Pradesh. See, in case of Uttar Pradesh is bigger than Russia. Russia is a independent country, but Uttar Pradesh is a state in our country. In case of Uttar Pradesh, the size of Uttar Pradesh, see, Uttar Pradesh is bigger than, in terms of population, not the size, terms of population, Uttar Pradesh is bigger than Russia. Maharashtra is about as big as Germany. So what I say, India is a very large country. So managing all these areas with the central government and by the central government and the state government is not that much easy. That's why their power is shared. Central governments and state governments power shared with another level of government. Okay. Federal power sharing in India needs another tier of government below that of the state governments. Central government is there, state government is there, below the state government another tier of government is there. That is the rationale for decentralization of power. What is the word rationale? That is the reasoning, yukti. In Malayalam we will say that yukti. That is the base of the decentralization. Okay, what that? Federal power sharing in India needs another tier of government below that of the state governments. This is the rationale for decentralization of power. Thus resulted a third tier of government. Listen, a third tier of government. That is local government. A third tier of government, that is called local government. Then what is decentralization? And a definition is given in your textbook. Listen the second paragraph. When power is taken away from central and state governments and given to local government, it is called decentralization. See, power is taken away from central government and state governments and given to the local governments. That is called decentralization. The power is taken away from central government and state government and given to the local government. This is called decentralization. Here, listen, we have central government is there, then state government, central government, then state government, then we have local government. This is the structure of federalism. Okay. The basic idea behind decentralization is that there are a large number of problems and issues which are best settled at the local level. That is the basic idea behind the decentralization. The things related with the local level are best considered in the local level. See, the basic idea behind the decentralization is that there are a large number of problems and issues which are best settled at the local level. When we consider the case of our area, in our panchayat, in our village, we may have many problems. That problems we can't go to see the president or prime minister to New Delhi. We can't go, or we need to go directly to chief minister's office to settle the problems of our own village or our panchayat. To solve all these problems, we have one local government. That is the local self-government in case of our country, panchayats, municipalities, all these things. Okay, so that the local issues will settle by that local government. Okay, they also have better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage things more efficiently. People have better knowledge of problems in their localities. Okay, what are the problems in our locality? That is best settled in the local self-government. Besides, at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in decision making. We will discuss in the coming pages about the Grama Sabha, everything. People can directly participate in the local issues. Okay, in case of the problems related with our village, we can consult our ward member and we will get the solution for the problems in the local level. Okay, this helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. The people can participate in the decision making process in a democratic way. Local government is the best way to realize one important principle of democracy, namely local self-government. Through the functioning of the local government or the activities of the local government, we should more familiar with the principles of democracy. Okay, what is the role of the people in decision making program, everything. We will learn through this thing, local self-government. Okay. The need for decentralization was recognized in our constitution. It already mentioned in our constitution the need for the local self-government. Since when the constitution prepared at that time onwards, the concept is there. Then there have been several attempts to decentralize power to the level of villages and towns. See, the leaders tried to share the power among the power to the level of villages and towns. Panchayats in villages and municipalities in urban areas were set up in all the states. According to the instruction given in the constitution, in all the states, villages and municipalities set up. Villages in panchayats and municipalities in panchayats in villages and municipalities in urban areas were set up in all the states. But what happened? These were directly under the control of the state governments. See, villages, panchayats in villages and municipalities in urban areas, cities and towns. Okay, in villages we have panchayats, in the towns we have municipalities. All these set up. But what was the condition? All these were directly under the control of the state government. Elections to those local governments were not held regularly. That was the condition. Municipalities are there, panchayats are there, but the elections in that municipalities and panchayats were not conducted regularly. Then what is the condition now? We have very good election procedures in panchayats and municipalities that we will discuss after all the things. Elections to these local governments were not held regularly. Local governments did not have any powers or resources of their own. Local governments were there, but they had no power, independent power, or they have no resources to use to look after the things. They had no resources some years back. Thus, there was very little decentralization in effective terms. Decentralization were there. See, decentralization was there, but it was not functioning properly. The power shared between the village authorities and panchayats and municipalities, but elections not conducted properly, and they had not that much power. They were under the control of state governments, and they had no resources to use. Okay, this was the condition some years back. A major step towards decentralization was taken in 1992. Listen the year. In 1992, all the things changed. Major steps taken in 1992 towards decentralization. The constitution was amended to make the third tier of democracy more powerful and effective. Indian constitution amended. Listen the word, underline the word amended. Meaning changed. Okay. Amended means changed. Constitution amended in 1992, or some changes brought in the constitution. For what purpose? For what purpose? To make more powerful. The third tier of democracy want to make more powerful. For that purpose, Indian constitution amended in 1992. Okay. A major step towards decentralization was taken in 1992. The constitution was amended to make the third tier of democracy more powerful and effective. Then, what are the changes came? Now, it is constitutionally mandatory. The word you underline, mandatory means compulsory. Okay. It is constitutionally compulsory to hold regular elections to local government bodies. According to this amendment, it is very important or compulsory to conduct elections regularly in these local governments, or local government bodies. Seats are reserved in the elected bodies and the executive heads of these institutions for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes. See, seats were reserved for the executive heads of these institutions for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other backward classes. At least 1/3 of all positions are reserved for women. We saw that the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other backward classes also had reservation in this seats, and the women also at least 1/3 of all positions in the panchayats and municipalities reserved for women. An independent election commission also set up. Okay. An independent institution called State Election Commission. Listen. State Election Commission also appointed or also created for the purpose of election. To conduct panchayat and municipal elections, independent election commission. The state governments are required to share some powers and revenue with the local government bodies. According to the amendment, it is compulsory to share the power and resources of state governments with the local government. The nature of sharing varies from state to state. This sharing of power and sharing of resources different way in different states. Anyhow, by the amendment of 1992, this third tier of government, that is local self-government, become more powerful. What are the changes happened after 1992? The seats election make compulsory. It is mandatory to conduct elections, and seats are reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward communities. And at least at least 1/3 of all positions are reserved for women. 1/3 of positions reserved for women. And independent elections commission also created. Independent election, state election commission created to conduct the elections. And state governments are required to share power and income with the local government. That sharing may be varied from state to state. Okay, these are all about the decentralization, and in the next session we will discuss about the rural local government, Panchayati Raj, their functions, everything. So study properly what is decentralization, read the textbook many time, what is called decentralization, what are the things happened after the amendment came in 1992, everything. Okay, shall we wind up today? Thank you.